Hello everybody, welcome to Fruitful Trees, and I'm going to show you some fruitful trees today. It right now is February 22nd, 2022, 2222, and I'm going to show you what's going on with my trees here, partly because of my own uh, education. I can go back in the future and see what's fruiting and what's not. Some of my trees are fruiting for the first time, and I'm going to hold some fruit on these trees. Some of them I'm not going to hold fruit on these trees, and we're going to see what's happening. But I just wanted to give everybody an update here. I'm in South Florida, and I'm in the West Palm Beach, Lake Worth area of South Florida, and I'm going to look at my yard and also possibly my neighbor's yard and show you what trees are fruiting right now this year. And this year, the weather's been quite interesting because we had a cold snap. It got very cold recently, but besides that, it's been relatively a warm winter. Well, here I am in front of one of my dwarf trees right in my front yard. This is a Falan mango, and I put this in my front yard because it's a green mango, and I don't want people to just be grabbing mangoes off my tree that are nice and colorful, so maybe they think the green ones aren't ripe. But this one's Falan. It's also known as a thunder mango, is a nickname because they say when you eat it, it almost sounds like thunder. I haven't actually tasted one of these, but I hear great things about it, and so I have it right here in my front yard. And as you can see, it has a lot of fruit it's holding right now. I don't know how many will stay on there. It's a dwarf tree. It's a smaller tree. It's been in the ground here for several years. So we'll see how many fruit decide to hold on there or not this year, but I think I'll get a few. And if this was not a dwarf tree, if this was a bigger tree, I might consider taking them all off because I'm starting to see that if you take them all off when they're young, they fruit better when they're older. But we'll see what happens. I think I'm going to leave these on here just because I want to taste those. Coming right over here, this is my red Jab Acaba. I have several of them, and this one, as you can see, this is fruiting, and this fruits several times a year. So there's a couple of one. The red one is the one that's ripe. The green ones aren't ripe yet, but the whole bark is flowering. This is a dwarf Jab Acaba tree. It's supposed to fruit after 3 or 4 years. It's bigger than that. It was in a pot. It's been older than that, and so it's fruiting now, and it fruits several times a year. I really enjoy that. It's flowering season here for mangoes. So this is our pickering here in the front. This is a dwarf tree. It looks like it has a few mangoes on there, and it's flowering really nice. So that's a dwarf tree. And as you can see, I'm standing here, and this tree is only up to my chest. So it is truly a dwarf tree. And a dwarf tree doesn't mean it's not going to get big. If you don't cut this tree, it will get big. But it's a dwarf tree because you can keep it small and it grows slower. That's why they call them dwarf. Not that they don't get big, but they grow slower, and you can keep them shorter if you decide to do so. Now, one of the seasons we're actually in right now is Sapodilla season. Sapodilla or Nispero. So this is an Alano Sapodilla, and for the first time I'm starting to get some on here. So I have a good amount of fruit on this particular tree. Nothing ripe yet, but this is the first year that I have fruit on it. So looking forward to that. Of course, star fruit is just off the hook right now. Star fruit is just going crazy. There's a bunch of star fruits on this tree. Still, they've been here for months, and look, enjoying that. This tree here is a Cogswall mango, and it's another one that's supposed to be a dwarf tree. I have some mangoes on there, as you can see. One just fell off. There's a good amount there. This tree's been here long enough where I think I'll let him stay on there this year. Now this tree I'm really excited about. This is my Orenegro Avocado, and as you can see, it's flowering. No fruit on here till next year and till next winter. Last winter was the first time I had fruit on this tree. Now I have had this tree since it was a 3-gallon pot in the ground, and it's been about maybe 7 years. Last year I had the first fruits on this tree. It was only about maybe 7 fruits in the whole tree. But I've seen some trees that had a lot more. Best avocado I've ever tasted, and it's flowering really well. So hopefully we'll get a good amount this year on that. Of course, always a big hitter here is my miracle fruit. Look, it's loaded, always loaded. Loving the miracle fruit. Loving the miracle fruit. So that's loaded. I got some other avocados here. A day avocado that's flowering really nice. And I have one fruit on my camito. This is a green camito. So I have one fruit there on a green camito. I don't know what variety it is. I wish I would have got it from Julian at Laura Farms. I would have known what variety it is, but I got one fruit on there, so that's really exciting. And as we know, persimmons go dormant in the winter and all the leaves fall off, so that's the case with that. Now I have some black Jab Acabas in the ground that they're not fruiting. They're too young because they take maybe 7 or 8 years to fruit. But my neighbor's tree is just going off on that, so we're going to take a look at that. And so this peach tree, not much happening right now. Never had anything on this peach tree. But again, my neighbor has some really nice peach trees. We're going to take a look at that. So here's another avocado tree. This is a Rani, not a Donnie, but a Rani. So that's starting to flower. That's really nice. And I just finished a bunch of these. This is the Jujube. I made some videos on it. Loved it. I just cut it back, but I left this one on because we're starting to air layer some of these. It's that good. So, and here's another Sapodilla. Now I have gotten a good amount of Sapodilla off this tree. This is a Molek. A Molek. Sapodilla. Excellent, excellent taste. So that's here in the front yard. Let's see here. And I just tried to plant as much variety as possible and as strategically as possible. So looking forward to my black jabos when they're gonna fruit in the future. Now coming on the other side of the front yard is really nice. I got a butterscotch Sapodilla, but nothing on that yet. But this, look at this. This is a Plantain or Key West Mame. So now that's almost 2 years from fruiting. But it's on there. So that's nice. But for this year, there's some fruit. Okay. So looking forward to that. Never had fruit off that tree, so that's really nice. And I have a Jackfruit fruiting over there. A Jackfruit avocado fruiting over there. So I'm gonna head towards the back and see here. So now's the time traditionally when mangoes are flowering, and we don't know what's gonna hold or not hold yet. But this is my sweet tart, and that's flowering nice. That just came out recently, so there's good flowers in there. So I'm really excited here because my Pineapple Pleasure, look at that. Look at that. Pineapple Pleasures looks like it's flowering really well. We'll see how that goes. I'm looking forward to that, of course. Everyone's looking forward to Pineapple Pleasure. So it's still cool enough here in South Florida to have plants in the ground. So the garden's looking really nice. I have a bunch of jackfruit trees. I got a lot of male flowers on the jackfruit trees. I don't see too many female ones yet. However, my black gold has some females growing on there. So my cherry is flowering well, but my lemon meringue has went off. Lemon meringue, a ton of mango set on these lemon meringues. These lemon meringues are about 7 or 8 years old, and I got 2 of them, and they always fruit really well. So they're doing great. Superhouse avocado just starting to flower, but no fruit on there. And this one is another Mame. So this one's going great. And then I have some fruit there that'll be good for this year. So that's a really exciting. And I'm not going to show you my garden in this video, but I got a flourishing garden. It's going really well. I love the flavor of those, or the smell of those blooms of those mangoes. So I'm just getting my first fruit here on my Duncan. So that's exciting. My Duncan. And then this tree goes great every year. This is a white Sapote. Seen some fruit on there. Every year we get a ton of white Sapote. So that's really nice. Love the white Sapote. My Relina, the flowers are just starting to come out again. Really nice. And let's see what else is happening here. I'll show you my black gold and how that's looking. So this is interesting. On my black gold, I have 1, 2 growing here. I have a third one right here. And up there I have 4 and 5. So I got about 5 female fruits right now on this tree. Now that's not a lot for a jackfruit tree. My neighbor has 20 or 30 on each tree. So I'm gonna have to investigate that. And I'm gonna head next door now and see what else is growing on. And yeah, but this is an exciting time of year because we're right at the heart of mango season, or the beginning of it, coming in a couple of months. I have a papaya back there, and that's loaded with a papaya. Very nice. So just a good variety of trees here. And I got a bunch of stuff in pots. I ran out of room. So I'm gonna go next door now and see what's growing on over there. I'm in my neighbor's yard, and you can see here, this is his much bigger, much older Alano Sapodilla. And he's been picking fruit off this for the last couple of months. He gets a bunch of fruit off this tree. And the one thing I like about the Sapodilla, it doesn't all fruit at one time. So you can come in here, grab 1 or 2, but it'll stay on there for a long time, so that's pretty cool. So I know his jackfruits are just amazing. So let's check that out. So originally he planted these jackfruits the same time I planted my trees, but I moved my trees. I took them out and moved them around, but he left his in, and he definitely he got the best jackfruits around. Look at that. This tree is loaded. This is a Bangkok lemon jackfruit tree, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. At least 20 on here right now. Female flowers. That's looking really nice. So this was a tree here that he top worked. This was a kit mango, but he found out it had bacterial black spot. It wasn't going to be well. He has 2 of these trees, and he top worked them, and they're starting to bloom for the first time since he did that. His coconut cream is looking amazing. His coconut cream mango is really looking blooming really nice. And this is a different variety of mamey, and he's eaten a lot of mamey off this tree over the years. There's a viejo mamey, so that one's looking good. So that's exciting. And then he has a curry mango tree that's doing really well. And check this out. Look at that. Custard apple here. The tree is loaded. He put bags around them to keep them from getting any beetles. So that tree is just loaded and doing great. And he still had a couple of avocado on one of his trees. So that's coming along. And me and him like to share ideas about our yards and our gardens to see what's growing and not. And that's why I want to share these videos with you, to see what's growing or what you're going to grow in the future, and how you're going to grow it, and how you're going to do these things. This tree is his triple sec tree, and it's really blooming really nice. This mango tree here, but then he has an orange sherbet tree that's not blooming at all. So it's always a little different with the weather and where you're at and what's blooming and what's not blooming. So and he has another jackfruit tree. This is really nice. I want to show you this. I just love seeing fruit growing on trees, and look at that. That is Excalibur Red, I believe. Excalibur Red. There's a bunch of stuff growing on there. Now he has another tree here that I definitely got to show you. This is probably, if everybody's looking for one tree, if you could take one tree out of his yard, this is the one I think everybody would want. Alrighty. He has a lot of fruit set on this tree that has several mangoes on this tree. That's not the tree I was going to show you, but he has several mangoes on this tree. So that's looking good. Several different varieties on that particular tree. His peaches are doing wonderful. He always gets peaches every year. So they're doing really nice. But this is the winner. Lemon zest, loaded with mangoes every year. Lemon zest. And this year is no different. This wins the prize, this tree. Lemon zest mango is one of the best mangoes, and he has this tree that's loaded every year, which is very interesting because he has this tree, which is the original lemon zest, and he had a wild mango tree growing. So he took a graft from this tree and he put it on that tree, that wild tree, and that wild tree is just doing amazing. And this tree, not so much. Very interesting to know that. So if you have some wild trees, don't get rid of them. Graft on top of them. And this one is a lemon meringue. He got this graft actually from my tree, and he put it on another wild mango tree, and that's growing as well really nice. He has a lot of fruit on there. So definitely, at least from our experience here, it speeds up everything when you take a graft versus having a tree from a little graft. When you have a wild old tree and you put a graft on it. So that's just some of the stuff that's growing on here. Now we're going to go look at and see what other mangoes are in bloom. All right, speaking of early mangoes, this is the earliest mango you'll find. It's rosy gold. And this tree is in bloom. It's getting mangoes for the first time this year. So I may hold them. I don't know if I'm going to let them fruit or not. But rosy gold is doing well. All right, so the last tree I'm going to show you today is my Edward mango. So Edward mango is looking well here as well. Edward mango is another mango that fruits pretty early and tastes great. It's going to grow really nice. I have a lot of other mangoes. This one's a buttercream that are in bloom. I don't know how many are going to set fruit or how many I'm going to let hold fruit. But I just want to give you a great idea about this time of year and what's fruiting or what's blooming. And it's an absolutely great time to be out here and to see all these different trees. Loving it and loving the fruit and loving the whole excitement that's coming for the major part of the fruiting season. Put your comments or questions below. Let me know what's fruiting in your area right now. And until then, everybody, have a great day and keep growing.